Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of our AMA report covering both technical and fundamental analysis of the crypto market. My name is William, head of XD Academy, and as usual, your AMA host. A bit about XD.com. The company was founded in 2018 and currently serves more than 7.8 million registered users. There are more than 1 million monthly active users and a total of 40 million users in the whole ecosystem, with more than 800 tokens and also more than 1,000 trading pairs available. So if you haven't signed up, definitely come by and check it out. We actually have quite a lot of trading pairs as well as tokens that are usually not listed on other exchanges until a little bit later on because we're just really fast out there in terms of early adopting all the new exciting tokens and projects out there. XDCOM stands as one of the world's first social infused exchange due to its innovative integration of social elements into the cryptocurrency trading experience. Unlike other trading exchanges that solely focus on transactions, XDCOM incorporates social features and enable users to engage with each other, forming a vibrant community within the platform. So for those who might be wondering, I personally have been working in the Web3 industry for the last few years and also provide educational Web3 lectures to various IT schools. This is what I do, and I'm just giving a little bit back to the XD community. Before we do get started, though, a quick shout out to all the projects that have been listed on XD.com the last 5 business days, and they've some of them are pretty. They have some pretty amazing gains. So I'm just going to start in chronological order. On Monday, so we have Dojo token, and that is up since the last 5 business days, the last 5 days, I guess you'd say, since crypto never sleeps. It's up 195%. So if you bought Dojo early, congratulations, you have gained. On April 2nd, on Tuesday, we have quite a few, actually. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 different tokens listed on April 2nd on Tuesday. And just to kind of quickly go over them, we have Jeton by Jeton Games, and they're up 24.8% now, if you're still holding now. We have CHKN, which is Chicken Coin, but believe it or not, it's up 773% since its listing. So that's amazing, like 7.7x. It's almost an 8x your money. We have Virtual by Virtual Protocol. That's up 60% now. Since its listing. We have Akito by Rain. That's up 51.4% ish since its listing. We have Jolt by Joltify, and that's up about 24.1% since April 2nd. For April 3rd, we believe we have 4 other token listings. We have Velar, that's up whopping 148%. So congratulations if anyone bought into Velar on April 3rd on Wednesday. We have Vec by Vector, and that's up 109% since Wednesday. We also have Fly, the Fly token by Fluidity, and that's up 19%. So, congrats if anyone has bought this since the token listing. And of course, we have CROB, CROB, and that's up 37% since April 3rd. We also had 2 other listings on April 4th. This Thursday, we have Zeus, the Zeus token, and that's up 137%. And then we have Drep ETH by Drep, and that's up about 37% in the last 24 hours. So congrats if anyone who's been trading any of these new tokens, especially the chicken one, CHK one. That's unbelievable, up almost 8x. That's just amazing. And this is like within days, right? Since chicken was just listed on April 2nd. So unbelievable. All right, so just a little bit of XD news, just moving on. XD is joining the Hong Kong Web3 Festival this year, and that's actually starting tomorrow. I believe we have a whole bunch of our staff literally just flew to Hong Kong the last 12 hours, and we will be having an after party on April 8th. So if you're in the area or if you're in Hong Kong and you're flying there for the event, definitely go check it out. Believe you can actually reserve your spot for the after party on our website. It's going to be at 7 p.m. at the Keys nightclub, so definitely drop by and meet the team. Alvin should be there, the CEO. So he might be a little busy, but drop by and say hi. We do also have XE Earn that has launched a new XT cloud mining service. So if you're interested in cloud mining, like you don't have to own your own mining machines, but you can actually just rent the mining machines. It's really interesting because it's kind of like a one downtime payment. And you can mine forever. So definitely you can also invite your friends to subscribe, and you'll enjoy a 10% commission reward when you invite your friends. So that's something it's interesting if someone's ever have some kind of entrepreneur spirit. So please be advised that anything I disclose in this AMA is not financial advice, and it's simply my analysis and thoughts on the crypto market for educational purposes only. All right, so that said, welcome back to our technical analysis segment. And this is where we dive deep into the world of crypto trading. All right, so today we're going to have some interesting insights to share regarding Bitcoin's recent price movements. And the reason why I focus on Bitcoin is because it has a really strong market dominance right now. I can actually quickly check for you guys right now, but if anyone's on the internet, you can probably be able to see its market dominance. It should be over 50 if I remember correctly. Yeah, so if you understand like Bitcoin's current price moment, you kind of understand the overall market and where the market's moving. That being said, let's jump in and let's start with a 4-hour time frame. So this is great for trade day traders or those who are swing trades within like every day or two, right? So this is probably not a great time frame for people who want to like hodl long term, because 4 hours time frame doesn't really tell you enough information. Now, but if you're buying and you're going to sell the next day, sure. Or if you're buying within today, you want to have a more macro view perspective on what how things are going to move in the next. I guess next 18 hours, sure. But like I said, the 4-hour time frame is exactly that. It really depends on the level of analysis you're perceiving time. So we're talking about every candlestick is a 4-hour, and that's great. Like I said, it's great for day traders and it's great for swing traders. But if you're hodling, this is not for you. But that being said, this is my 4-hour analysis. All right. So we do encounter quite a lot of dynamic market volatility going on, and it's really characterized by a really recent corrective movement within like more of an overarching uptrend, right? So really pushing up there. So I don't know, for those who may not have attended last Friday's Education MA, I did talk about that we have this triangle pattern. It was kind of like a flag that's pointing up, right? So I do believe we are in the fourth wave. So if anyone who's interested in the Elliott wave theory, definitely go check it out. I believe we're in the fourth wave. We're correcting. We should, in my personal opinion, we should have another fifth wave. We might push one more time before we have, and I still think we're still going to have a very, very healthy correction after the fifth wave. And then it comes the corrective waves, right? The ABC waves. I believe we're in the fourth right now. We're consolidating the fourth, and we're going to have a nice push. And you know what's funny? If you take a look at the Bitcoin halving counter, any of them online, you'll see that we have more or less about 17 days left. That is actually makes perfect sense. To me, everything we usually have a nice rally because everyone like, yay, it's Bitcoin. There's like a halving, and everyone who doesn't understand, they put their money in thinking that the next few months are going to become rich. Well, that really doesn't really work. People sell the news, right? So, and this really concedes with us being the current fourth wave. But that for the 4-hour time frame, though, I am a little bit bullish. So you probably not be thinking, oh, we're on the fourth wave on the 4-hour time frame. You're thinking this is completely irrelevant in terms of fourth wave, right? But if we are looking at the 4-hour time plays, we've examined much more closer. We do see we have a lot increasing selling pressure here. Bitcoin, as much as I think that we're going to have a big push a few days later, in the 4-hour time frame, we are approaching quite a lot of resistance around the $70,000 mark. I mean, like, look, it's triggering a lot of downward correction. We're hitting 70, and then we're all the way closer down to the 64, right? So do keep in mind that this retracement, it really represents a potential entry point. So if you're, like I said, if you're a day trader or if you're a swing trader, and you're buying today and selling tomorrow, tomorrow, and you just want to capitalize on these, up and downs, especially the short term frame uptrend, great. And if you did buy in the 64,000 mark, and we're already up now, good for you guys. If you guys do look at the wave oscillator, it really does cooperate with this exact sentiment I'm talking about right now. And then we are talking about that we have this short term bullish momentum, right? So it's really reinforcing this outlook that we have and the assumption that we are going upwards and the trend is going to continue. Of course, we need to stress this. So it's the short term, right? So when we have these market dynamics, and you guys have to understand that we need to practice risk management. I really don't want you guys to be stuck buying the 68,000. Next, we have a huge correction. You guys did sell, and we're all the way down to like 56,000 BTC. That kind of sucks short term, of course. Worst case scenario, you hodl for the next couple of months, but it just means your cash flow is stuck, right? You don't have the money to buy the dip because you bought it at 68 and you didn't sell it when you pumped. So like I said, the 4-hour time frame is great for day traders, for swing traders, especially for buying today and selling tomorrow. But that's it. That is the 4-hour time frame. I remember back like 3-4 years ago when I started like getting into trading, and that was more of a fundamental analysis back then, but like I wasn't really strong technical part. And I had some really good like professional trading friends. They're all telling me like, William, why the heck are you looking at the 4-hour time frame? You're not even selling in the next 2 days. The 4 hours is irrelevant. And that information, that little comment from my professional friends, they that just stuck with me. So I really just want to relay that information. This is the 4-hour time frame, all right? So while short-term corrections, they are like inevitable. They're gonna happen, right? In any kind of market cycle. Do keep in mind that maintaining this long-term perspective is really key to navigating this volatility, this up and down. And we are in this channel. So do keep in mind that like if you want to capitalize on profits, great, but you gotta sell, right? You buy and sell. All right, so that's my 4-hour spiel. Let's move on to the 1-day time frame. I believe this is going to be a lot more useful and helpful for everyone here. So if we look at the 1-hour time frame, we have a more of a broader perspective on the price action, and it gives us a more of a better perspective on the longer horizon in the sense, because each doji is an hour. Excuse me, is a day. Is 24 hours. So the recent market activity has really brought a lot of interesting critical juncture for us right now. It's brought us really interesting point because the price, it's undergoing a really corrective phase, like I mentioned earlier, where I believe for the day chart we are on the fourth wave, excuse me, when I'm talking about the Elliott wave here, where I believe we are in the fourth wave here. So we are going through a little corrective phase right now, and we have tested key support levels, and we are testing the resistance levels right now. So we did see the recent correction in Bitcoin all the way down, like I mentioned earlier, all the way down to 64,000. That was amazing. People were talking about all of this, like the negative sentiment and all that. But I think we're just a little bit too short. And if anyone doesn't recognize that we are currently in the fourth wave, you might have thought that we might have been like corrective wave B. But if you zoom out, like in the day chart, you should be able to understand that we are actually in the fourth wave in the more grander scheme of things. So we with the price maintaining a position above the 200 moving average indicator, you have to understand that this is strength. This is strength in the day chart, right? If we dive deeper a little bit in the technical indicators, though, like if we look at the MRI, for those who may not be aware, this is the momentum reversal indicator, right? And especially if you look on the weekly time frame, we do see some little more dangerous selling signals here. But keep in mind, as we navigate the 1-day chart, it's gonna be it's evident to me that like we have to risk manage, because when we start seeing this fifth wave, when we go up, and if you really miss this fifth wave sell, okay, that sucks, but we're going to enter the corrective wave in the next few little bit, right? Which brings me to the 1-week time frame here, guys. So now we'll have like more of a panoramic or more wholesome view of what the market's going to go. And from here, I really do see a lot of buy orders in, especially a lot of buy orders stretching all the way down to 59,000. And for some of them, even stretch all the way down to 54,000. It's a little bit intense there. But, this kind of shows us that, hey, some people really do think that we can correct all the way down once we do finish the fifth wave. So there is this accumulation. There's a lot of buy orders in that area, and even though we do see like the recent like downtrend, this, like, you understand that like the momentum reversal indicator, this MRI, it is flashing a sell signal on the weekly uh, chart. So if you are buying now, that's great, that's fine. Like, just, but you have to approach it as a trader point of view, because there's only 7 days in a week, and if I start seeing a more macro selling indicator telling me to see that the trend is dying on the weekly chart, that gives me a macro perspective that maybe if I don't have the time the next few days to pay attention to charts because I'm just busy with work, and maybe I shouldn't be trading, maybe I should hold off and wait for like a week or two to buy the deep as an investor. So it really comes down to whether you're actually paying to the market, if you're trading as a trader, or if you're actually in this as an investor, right? So, like, guys, keep in mind that we do have, we are losing a lot of Bitcoin supply on the cryptocurrency exchanges, regardless of any exchanges. They're just slowly depleting. Excuse me, they're depleting from exchanges right now. So we do have a lot of short-term holders. They are accumulating a lot of Bitcoin since last year in December. That was just like about what, 3 months ago, and we have this accumulation has really hit a more of a near-term downtrend. So, and the historical data, it usually reveals us like this. We do see the seasonal trend that really favors Bitcoin, right, during the second quarter, this Q2 quarter right now that we are entering, and this really offsets like more of a bearish sentiments in mind. But that being said, this year's halving, it is different. We have a lot of spot ETFs, so I like, if this is in 2020, I think I would actually trust more of like historic indicators to tell me like how I would be able to like understand the Bitcoin weekly chart. But because we have the spot ETFs, this is just it's hard to use historical data at this point, right? So, but that being said, while we do have short-term corrections, and they do present a little bit challenges, I have some of my professional trader friends. They're just like, they just stopped using leverage the last like week and a half because it's just way too volatile. It's just so easy to get liquidated if you use anything more than 3x right now. I have a lot of like my friends, but like, hey, if you're using leverage right now and derivatives, like, hey, and you're making profits, like, that's amazing for you. But I do have people who I know who do this like professionally day in day out, and they are pretty reluctant to use leverage right now because of the immense amount of volatility, and we can really go either way at this point. So if you're using volatility, please excuse me, if you're using leverage, I say volatility, if you're using leverage, guys, please, risk management, don't I hate for you guys to get liquidated. So please be careful of the amount that you're using. Definitely manage your risk there. If you're using 3x volatility, you might want to, 3x leverage, you might want to consider using a little bit less, because we are in this really volatile phase right now. All right, so hopefully my 4 hour, 1 hour weekly time frame analysis, my technical analysis has helped you, given you more of a better understanding of, or at least a second opinion. So hopefully you guys are doing your own homework, doing your own analysis. Do not blindly trust me. At the end of the day, I'm just another person, right? Sure, I have a few years of trading experience. I have a couple of years of uh, investing experience and I went to school for blockchain, but still I'm human, right? So definitely do your homework, guys. Take what I say as a second opinion, right? And this gives you a little bit more information, a little more another person's insight to really better understand that perhaps you should consider another person's analysis. So you see, oh, maybe I shouldn't see this as wave B correction. Maybe this is actually the fourth wave, and we should have a nice up push up. But if I'm not selling the next few days, maybe there is another more inherent risk because you have to contend with the upcoming macro corrective waves, and the corrective wave is going to take a long time because we're looking at the more of the higher time frames here, right? All right, guys. So definitely, hopefully, do your homework there, and hopefully, my technical analysis help you in that respect. All right, guys. So that's enough of technical analysis there. Hopefully, I didn't bore everyone to death here. Let's jump into more of the fundamental analysis here. I think this is a little more suited for not just the traders but investors as a whole, because just with fundamental analysis, if you don't understand anything about charting, literally, you can just invest in cryptocurrency with just understanding the fundamental value of the underlying cryptocurrency we're talking about. With that being said, even if the asset goes down like what, -10, -20, -30%, long term, you still make money because the cryptocurrency, the underlying value actually has fundamental value in itself, right? So let's dive down. And this week I have three specific projects and hence three specific tokens, cryptocurrencies I'd like to talk about. Up until now, I have been touching a little bit more of a cryptocurrency that have much more larger market cap. So last week, I believe I talked about was it Polygon and Solana and stuff like that. But you know what? This time I'm going to dive a little bit a little bit deeper in those in cryptocurrencies that have a smaller market cap, but I'm still staying within the top 100 market cap. At least this way, it's just default risk management on my end. Okay, but that being said, my very first project I want to talk about is Pendle Protocol, and this one I believe right now, if I'm looking at CMC, it is ranked number 68 in the total market cap right now. So so it's not super big, but it's not super small either. And Pendle Protocol, it's for those who may not be aware, it's a really it's a new player in the decentralized finance space, and they've garnered a lot of attention recently because they're driven by this huge surge of demand for airdrop farming, all right, and of course yield trading. I think they're more known for yield trading, but like the whole airdrop farming is like a huge thing this week, and this is why I chose this specific project. For those who are looking at it right now on CMC or on any exchange, you see that for the last 24 hours, yes, it is insanely up. You see a lot of money, a lot of liquidity moving, and right now I think like the total market cap is just like jumped like crazy. Like it's almost like it jumped about 40% last 2 weeks. It's crazy. It's almost like 3.9 billion. That is insane amount of gain of total value locked in 2 weeks, guys. You understand? Like just perspective wise, that's just a lot of people moving their liquidity to Pendle Protocol, and they really provide a really interesting and unique service for those who really want to take a more of a stable yield in their DeFi gains, right? So, and this huge surge in total value locked, it really reflects their a growing interest in this protocol's innovative yield trading protocol. So, like I say, like usually, so when yield usually goes up in a bull market because there people are making money, and then yields tends to go down when during a bear market because people don't make money, right? There's not much money to be made, so who would be borrowing money to do with cryptocurrencies, right? So that being said, Pendle Protocol really provides and allows really users to farm various project airdrop points with leverage. I need to stress that so much. They allow you to farm project airdrops. They let you farm airdrops, which is great. And a lot of projects, they have that, but with leverage. Okay, guys, that's amazing. We don't never seen that before when you can actually farm project airdrops with leverage. So keep in mind, Pendle's native token, it's Pendle, PNDL, exactly as their name. And they've witnessed this huge fivefold if 5x increase since the beginning of the year. So right now, I believe the market capitalization is like what's it, close to like 460 million. That's insane, guys. I think it might have dipped today. No, it's all the way up there. Yeah, this huge spike in Pendle's activity, okay, it really attributes to the launch of two new specific pools. And these pools are based on the USDE stablecoin pool. All right. So these pools, they're introduced as, of course, of those who may not pay attention, I'm definitely going to dive in a little bit deeper, but it's introduced as part of Athena Labs incentive campaign. And I will get into Athena a little bit later, right? So, and that being said, this is huge, right? And Athena is really a new project, and I will jump in a little later. But Pendle's taking advantage of the adoption of Athena's stablecoin, and then by providing these two new pools, and this gives a lot of people the freedom and allows them to actually take advantage of this new stablecoin that's just a lot more exotic compared to the other USDT or USDC counterparts, right? So when you offer traders a new really interesting mechanism to obtain leverage exposure to, of course, the Eagle layer and, of course, other liquid restaking tokens. And then for those who don't know what restaking tokens are, I wrote an article about restaking tokens, so definitely go check out XDL.com's Medium website. We have an introduction article on restaking tokens. So Pendle Protocol, they're really a pivotal player, in my opinion, because they're really evolving the DeFi landscape by providing leverage for farm yielding, as well as giving like DeFi users a new way to utilize new stable coins. All right. So that said, I think Pendle is well, it's kind of obvious considering the fact the last 2 weeks it's just gaining like crazy in token. But I do think that they have substantive great future, and I can't wait to see how the Pendle protocol evolves, as well as adopt new liquidity pools. All right, so I definitely think that USDE is just the beginning. I have no doubt they're going to be providing us a lot more interesting options for those who are interested in DeFi. All right, let's jump into the second project. And the next project is for those who already got the hint, it's Athena, and this is the ENA token. And as if you see in today's CoinMarketCap ranking, it is ranked number 77 in the total market cap. All right. So Athena, for those who are new to DeFi or guys haven't kept up with DeFi marketplace in the last 7 days, no worries. Athena, it's long story short, they're a pioneering player in DeFi ecosystem, and they really sparked a really interesting, I'd say interesting debate in the whole DeFi industry, and it's because they launched a synthetic stable coin, and the stable coin's pegged to the US dollar, but it's a synthetic stable coin. So for those who may not understand, think of it as gosh, I hate to use like negative examples, but like another synthetic stablecoin would be UST, the stablecoin pegged by Luna, right? So by the Terra blockchain. Like I don't want to give Athena a negative rep here and I'm specifically mentioning Athena right now because I do think this has immense, really good fundamentals, and I think this project, I have no doubt that it's probably going to be giving us really good utility in the DeFi ecosystem and hence really strong fundamentals. But that being said, the why they have a lot of controversy, especially online. If you look at Twitter, it's really interesting. We have a lot of interesting conversations going around Athena's synthetic stablecoin right now. Some people think it's great, some people think it's it's risky, it's dangerous. But like I think it's a little bit unfair to just because it's a synthetic stablecoin, not really directly backed by the US dollar in some bank, I don't necessarily think
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
it's bad. I just think a lot of people, I think it's just it has a negative like rep because it's a synthetic stablecoin, not backed one-to-one ratio by the US dollar in a bank, because of the Terra blockchain. And I think a lot of people we still have a negative image of synthetic assets, and that being said, I think we just need to give Athena a few months or maybe another year or two to really just prove themselves that look, they are not like the USD stablecoin. They're not going to go to zero. They have a very unique a way of pegging their keeping their synthetic stablecoin on peg. So if those interested, definitely go check it out. It's very interesting. They have like short positions and stuff like that. But that being said, they this is the USDE that Athena launched is really new. This is only provided since February 21st. That's like a week and a half ago, guys. All right, so it is new. If you guys do feel like it's a little bit, on the risky end, you want to give it a little bit more time to, to figure out how it's going to go. Okay, let's just keep your hands off on the synthetic stablecoin. But that said, you still have the underlying cryptocurrency assets represent the Athena itself, the ENA token. So I do think that as much as we think that and we believe that there are lots of different various concerns surrounding the USDE stability in terms of it being a synthetic, a stable coin, I do remain bullish with Athena because its ability to scale and its unique trade-off really positions it as a really compelling a contender, a new kid on the block in the stablecoin market. And I think that this, as we continue to see if Athena navigate the DeFi landscape and continue to see the USDE being adopted by more and more DeFi protocols, as we have just seen Pendle protocol adopting USDE, we'll probably see a lot more investor confidence in Athena. So if you guys have lost a lot of money because of Terra blockchain, hey, just want to let you know I've also lost a nice chunk in the Terra blockchain myself too. But that it is what it is. And that being said, I do think Athena they do have some very interesting, I guess you can say sale face mechanism compared to UST. So you don't have to wait for some kind of manual triggerings for someone to sell Bitcoin to to rebuy Luna in order to stabilize UST stablecoin price, right? So Athena they utilize short positions. So it's really interesting. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely go check out, read up Athena's white paper. I think that this is going to be going a long way. All right. And last but not least, my last project I do want to go over this week is Wormhole. And their token is one letter W. As right now, if you look at CoinMarketCap, they are on the place number 63 in the total market cap. So it's not big, but it's not small either. They have just recently launched, though. This is pretty new. This is literally last 48 hours, I believe, more or less last 48 hours. So take it with a grain of salt. I believe it's right now it's going under a corrective because it skyrocketed in the moment it was launched. Now it's going through corrective phase for as much as I would like to buy the dip, like all we have to see it how far it'll dip before it corrects, right? So that being said, we did, like I said, mentioned earlier, we did see a huge surge of market capitalization. Literally, guys, this has just existed in the last 48 hours, and it's already at number 63, excuse me. This is higher than Athena. That's just mind-blowing, all right? But do keep in mind that this wormhole, the wormhole, long story, for those who may not be aware, they help you guys bridge different assets to other chains, right? But that being said, they had an unfortunate hacking incident last year in February. Now that was an unfortunate setback, right? But I think They have ever since then they have allocated a huge amount of their tokens for the community and for the ecosystem development, and that's why I really do think that that the project is really committed to the recovery and growth of the whole of their whole project as a whole. So as much as people thinking, oh, they were hacked, they had vulnerability. Yeah, well, if something happened, it probably will happen. And if it hasn't happened, it probably will sometime in the future. And that's just what happens when things get older in time, right? But that being said, the most important thing is that the whole team, they're still dedicated and allocating a significant amount of their tokens for the community. That says a lot and what their perspective is. And I really think that that really reflects their growing confidence and of course their adoption within the whole decentralized finance space. That being said, guys, they are listed everywhere. So if you guys go check out Wormhole and their marketplace, I mean, they're listed quite a lot of places. I'm just checking out right now. Yeah, they're basically all like some of the top like exchanges out there. We've at XD we've listed them already, and considering the fact they've only been literally they only deployed their token just not too long ago. This really says a lot about their project. All right, guys. So that being said, one of I just wanted to talk about that they are facilitating multi-chain applications and bridges. Now, and for those who might have like invested in say like multi or any swap, last year, I know you might be thinking, "Oh my God, it's one of those projects again." And what if, like, where's the project staff? Where's the developers? Are they docs? Are they in China? Because next week we don't want the whole like multi, the multi token, the whole like the AnySwap situation happen again. For those who might be aware, basically, it's a protocol that they did the same thing. It's very similar to Wormhole. They did with they were interoperability platform, helping you move from your crypto assets from one chain to another. But what happened was that their main developers they got arrested by the police in China, and then within a few days, next thing you know, it was massive, huge changes to the prominent nodes that were supposed to maintain security were executed. So a lot of changes were executed, and next thing, this huge amount, a lot of money were drained out of these bridges, right? So I think for those who may be familiar with that, might be thinking, oh, it's one of those project games. But like I said, just because someone failed previously, making an interoperability platform doesn't mean the new one is going to be the same, right? So I think it would be unfair to judge Wormhole by using multi-swap, or in this case, AnySwap as a reference. Now, I was looking over their website. I was trying to figure out, like, is their whole team docs, like who is making this? Because last thing I want to know is, oh, it's another team in China, and once they get arrested again, and all the money's just disappeared. That actually places a lot of stress and a lot of change. I mean, like, just a quick shout out to the Phantom Foundation. I think they were great in trying to like get some of the money back by taking the multi-swap, the AnySwap Foundation to court in Singapore. So all props to the Phantom Foundation. Just a quick shout out for them, because since they won that court ruling, if you're in Singapore or if you're somewhere else, you want to sue the AnySwap Foundation because you bought into multi or AnySwap, then you might have a chance to get some of your money back, right? But that being said, like, I do believe that Wormhole is one of the leading interoperability platforms out there right now, and they really continue to track a lot of developers and users from various blockchains. I think what was it, like over like 35 billions dollars have been transferred through Wormhole up to date right now, and they have partnerships with Circle and Uniswap. Guys, that says a lot, man. Circle's so nitpicky when it comes to partnerships, so that really gives them like a big fat stamp of approval. Wormhole also demonstrates its role as a really vital infrastructure, right, in our whole Web3 ecosystem. So, of course, despite their hack, their vulnerability last year, and of course the whole negative narrative around interoperability platforms, I do think that Wormhole does have strong fundamentals here. And I think that as their ecosystem grows, I do expect a lot of success in the future from them. All right, guys, I am going to stop there with my fundamental analysis. I hope my insights, my understanding, and my analysis of these three protocols, Pendle, Athena, and Wormhole, is giving you a better, a better understanding of the three, and also exposes you to these potential new projects that you might want to read up on. Because I personally think that too much coffee today. I think that these projects definitely have really strong fundamentals. They're growing. Their fundamentals are definitely growing, and I think that I'm really looking forward to where they're going to go. Now, of course, if you're a trader, you might not want to buy it, Pendle Protocol, considering fact how much it pumped the last like week and even. But I think Athena as well as Wormhole, they are correcting right now, and I just can't wait to look forward to where they actually start pumping again. But like I said, this is purely for educational advice. It's purely educational purposes. It's not financial advice. Hopefully, you guys learned a lot from this AMA. That's it. Now we're gonna enter our Q&A section. If you guys have any questions for me, you can definitely request a mic. I see a whole bunch of people requesting mic, so let me see if I can pass the mic one at a time over to people. And here we go. So I'm just going to go in order at this point. So I did pass a mic to Omega. I'm not sure. He's probably connecting right now, considering the fact that Twitter Space takes a few seconds to really connect people to the mic. Let's just give Omega a quick second. And if he doesn't connect, that's fine. I'll just pass the mic to someone else where I do see people flashing hands. Okay, so Mega is AFK. That's totally fine. Let me pass the mic. Okay, so Atlas, I did pass the mic to you. I did see your hand go up. You should be able to get the mic in a few seconds. Twitter Space is not liking automatic connections right now. Just give it a quick second. There we go. So you have the mic. Yeah, good. I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you very much for bringing me up. I have a question in respect to the Bitcoin halving. I don't want to know about your perspective on what do you foresee going to happen for after the Bitcoin halving? I don't know. Can you tell me your own perspective about the Bitcoin halving? Because this should be this should be the fourth Bitcoin halving that's coming up for Bitcoin. And I know that Bitcoin has the largest market cap, which affects all other altcoins in the long term. So how do you see the Bitcoin halving affecting the crypto space total after the halving for this year? That's my question.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. Absolutely. All right, so I'm just going to quickly take a look at the Bitcoin halving countdowns. Yeah, so we have 17 days until the halving. That's literally that's less than 3 weeks, guys. And you have to understand that as the halving approaches, the last 2 weeks, we've always seen a lot of more news about the Bitcoin halving on just general media, on TV, on like radio shows. Everyone is talking about Bitcoin halving. And for everyone who's not into crypto, they start getting into it. They start buying into it. We get so much, just so much attention, Bitcoin. So I do think that, like, from a macro perspective, my personal opinion, I do think some people are gonna sell the news. We're gonna have a nice correction. But as for how far can we correct this time, if before like the Bitcoin spot ETFs, like if we were back in 2020, the last bull market, last halving, we had a nice correction right after the halving, right? And that actually took quite a few months to really, it took like almost like 4 or 5 months to really recover from that correction, right? But because we have the spot ETFs in place right now, we have the big players, we have banks, we have financial institutions, we have everyone can put a lot of money into Bitcoin through the Bitcoin spot ETFs in the United States. And that being said, I don't see the correction taking many months to recover. I do think that we'll have a much more shorter recovery time. Now, usually people say like, oh yeah, it's usually 6 months. It takes about 6 months for us to really go parabolic rise. That's true, but Guys, we have the Bitcoin spot ETF this time, and considering how much Fidelity and as well as BlackRock's been just accumulating Bitcoin like no tomorrow, even when Bitcoin was in its 60,000 US dollar range. Like, if Bitcoin ever dips below 60,000, you think these big guys would start buying a lot heavier because they have hundreds of thousands to buy every day, right? Now, it really also comes down to like how much people are going to move their funds off Grayscale and into these cheaper Bitcoin spot ETFs. And if that does happen during the correction, yeah, sure. Well, I'm sure we're probably seeing a much more healthier correction. But in terms of the longevity of this correction, I don't see it lasting 6 months. I just don't see it. Considering the fact how much these big, huge spot ETFs are accumulating Bitcoin in the last 3 months, there's no way it's going to take us 6 months to correct. So, but I do think that it's going to be a sell the news situation. However, in terms of how long we'll see this dip, I don't think it's going to take 6 months. There's just no, but that's my personal opinion. Hopefully, definitely do your homework as well. I think the next 2 weeks will say a lot about how the halving is going to evolve. But if we hold up, if we go sideways a little bit more the next week, and then we do gain a little bit more for the fifth wave, I do expect the next the corrective waves A, B, and C in the Elliott wave theory to really drop us down. Now, in terms of how far we drop, like, yeah, we can see all the way down to 50, 59 to 55,000, but we have the big players, and considering they're buying a lot in 60Ks already, I wouldn't be surprised if they're buying loads and much. But yeah, that's hopefully that gives you that gives you another perspective. Hopefully that helps. But you definitely want to capitalize on the upcoming dips in the next few months. Right, wonderful. Hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you.
All right, great. Let's move on to the next person. Yeah, definitely. You're welcome. Let's see. So we have definitely a whole bunch of hands. Let me see. All right, so I passed the mic to Godel. I believe it's Godlet Mewin. Yes, you have the mic.
Hello, sir.
Hi, loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Can I ask my question?
Of course.
What is your plan to attract more user? And have you reached this goal in your...
Okay, I'm sorry, but that question, unfortunately, is irrelevant because we're not a project, right? So thank you very much for asking, but unfortunately, that did not make sense. I'm going to move on. All right, I passed the mic to Uzman. Yes, you have the mic. Oh, just give you a few seconds. I believe Twitter Space is like, there we go. So you have the mic.
Okay, thanks for giving me the mic. My question is actually, why do you think BlackRock and Fidelity are actually buying more of spot ETFs than the actually Bitcoin itself? That's my question.
That's a very good question. It's because that's the only way they can actually move their funds. They can, I have no doubt that there are big whales privately buying Bitcoin through their own pockets, but you can only move so much funds as a private investor, right? When you actually buy Bitcoin using other people's money, that's where they can accumulate a whole bunch of fiat to actually do so. So, and considering if we look at the last 2 months and how much they've accumulated, they have accumulated hundreds of thousands of US dollars worth of Bitcoin every day. Now, of course, they did slow down I think it was like about 2 weeks ago, they did slow down in their purchases just by a little bit because, what was it? Yeah, we had Grayscale, right? They were just massively selling because their fees are just high, right? So it's just natural. If your fees are high in one spot ETF, you're going to take your funds out, and then what you're going to do, you still want Bitcoin, you just don't want to pay a lot of fees. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it in somewhere else with cheaper fees. So whether it be Fidelity, BlackRock, or something else, some other spot Bitcoin ETF, they're just moving funds. But remember to understand that when you move funds, it's not like cryptocurrencies. In the traditional TradFi ecosystem, it takes a little bit of time to move hundreds of millions of dollars, especially if you're moving billions of dollars. It takes a little bit of time to set up the account. You need to verify a whole bunch of spiel. If you're in like East Asia, you have to go to the bank. You have to talk to them. You need your stupid stamp, personal seal that is East Asia stuff. Like, there's just a lot of like paperwork to do when there's hundreds of millions of dollars working around. But that being said, I have no doubt that the big players are privately buying Bitcoin, but I have no way to back that up, right? But if your company is buying that much, and that your company, your institution is buying hundreds of millions and billions of dollars in Bitcoin for that conceivable future, I think you'd be probably buying yourself. I don't know if you call that like insider trading or not, or insider investing or not, but that kind of says a lot, right? But that being said, we've already seen a historical last few months that Bitcoin is gained huge momentum. We broke all-time high before the halving. That's unheard of, right? But we will see a lot more buying from them. I have no doubt they're going to be buying privately, but it's just easier to borrow someone's money to buy it. And that's exactly what banks do. So you have to see Fidelity and BlackRock as private banks that are not available to us regular retailers. You have to see them as banks for like the big guys. You kind of see they're not banks per se, they're financial institutions, but you kind of see them. They do something similar to bank. They hold a lot of money. And what they do is they hold a lot of other people's money, so they invest it for them, especially if they're interest, and they take a fee, right? So yeah, I have no doubt they're like a lot of people who work in those countries. I do know a few people who work in specific investment companies. I'm not going to mention the name, but they're like top 3 investment companies, and they bought like the only thing they're buying is Bitcoin right now. They're like all on vacation, like just traveling the world, just enjoying every day. And then all they do is they're buying Bitcoin. It's just crazy. But I hopefully that little bit a little bit inside information gives you insight into like what the financial sectors are doing. But yeah, I do know some people in the top 3. They're all just buying Bitcoin. Wonderful. That's a really good question. Let's just move on to the next person. I see a few hands. Okay, Zico, I saw your hand up. Yeah, you can ask your question. Okay, just give him a few seconds. There we go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. My question. What are your future plan with your XTCOM?
Okay. You asked what are my future plans with XD.com? Are you talking about like the exchange itself? Oh, okay. I guess I would have to ask Albin, the CEO. He's currently in Hong Kong right now. So what I can say is the near future plans of XD.com, and we're running a huge after party. I think like we just put like a lot of money into this after party. If you guys are anywhere near Hong Kong, definitely go check it out. That's like I would love to just attend, just be social, talk to people in the Web3 ecosystems. Considering how much like token listings we have had this week, and a lot of these token listings are not even listed to anywhere else. They usually started getting listed on other exchanges. So it's really interesting how like XD.com always has all these like really fresh token listings that later on get adopted by more prominent exchanges. So if you have an account with XD.com, you can actually buy them on the cheap end much more earlier before they're actually exposed to the greater Web3 market. But that being said, what I can actually say and disclose is that we actually have huge plans. Like we have, like I already disclosed already, we have plans at the Hong Kong Web3 Festival. We also have plans at the Dubai. I believe we do have a booth in the Dubai Web3 Token 2049 event going on. So if you're in Dubai, definitely go check that out. Check out I'm not sure if our CEO is going to drop on Dubai, but I have no doubt they probably would though. But yeah, you can drop down, check out our staff there. There, some of our marketing staff will definitely be attending both these events, so you can always ask them the same question. They probably have a lot more prominent answers for you. Unfortunately, I'm the educational guy for XD. I run the XD Academy here. So I can't really say exactly how business plans are going to work out and what they are. But what I do know is that they do have these huge events, and they will be attending. We will have our booth, so definitely go check out their booth if you're in the area, and hopefully you can actually meet the team and all that. Wonderful. All right, this is a really good question.
Okay, thanks for my answer. Great.
All right, guys, I do see a lot of hands. You know what? Let's just do one more. I think we have that time to squeeze in one more. Let's see. Okay, so I did see Jackson. I saw your hand up. I passed the mic to you. Let's just see if you connect. All right, there you go. You have the mic. Yes, you are.
I thank you for this opportunity. I would like to ask, what are the key features of ST Party events, such as the red envelope ring, exclusive benefits of new users, and the 1 BTC grand prize sharing? And how can participants engage with these activities to win exciting rewards? Thank you.
Okay. I think I understand your question. You do realize that we're not a project, right? So I am not too sure if you're coming from the project perspective or exchange perspective. We do have trading events. We do have quite a bit. We always have like one like every other week or something like that, or sometimes every week. It really depends on the project. So we do have a lot of trading rewards as well as just events. If you do like participate, definitely do so and just trade normally. And the next you know, you do actually get a nice hefty bonus. So definitely go check that out. It's on our website. There's always all these other interesting like airdrops when it comes to like new projects, so definitely go check that out. If you haven't like followed us on Twitter or actually joined our Telegram, sometimes we actually do provide Telegram's group specific rewards as well as Twitter Space and as well as Twitter specific rewards. So if you haven't yet, you definitely want to join the Telegram group as well as follow us on Twitter. But if you're a trader, you definitely want to just check out all the trading competitions we tend to have. We have a group that we have a specific team dedicated to making trading competitions for you guys traders. So if you guys are definitely into that, that's definitely one way to see things. All right, so hopefully that gives you a few examples. Unfortunately, we don't have any specific tokens other than XC tokens. We don't really use that other than for like gas fees or any other specific purposes. However, I do believe that we are implementing a lot more utility in the future for it. But that being said, we tend to it really depends on like what's being listed. We tend to collaborate with these new token listings and like ask for the projects to donate a specific part of their tokens to run these competitions for them, right? So that said, most likely your earnings are probably in the new airdrop form of the token, or it could also be in XE tokens as well, right? Considering that like you wouldn't need that to save money on gas. All right, wonderful. I'm apologize if that answer is a little bit vague, but unfortunately, I will have to ask the specific marketing team specifically in charge of those specific trading competitions. But absolutely, I will probably have that disclosed literally every week, if not every other week. So definitely follow us on Twitter. You'll see all the information. They usually like post it like every few days, just kind of like a quick reminder. So definitely do that if you haven't done so. All right, wonderful guys. Fortunately, we're out of time, but I really appreciate that everyone join today's AMA segment. Definitely a huge thank you to everyone who asked questions. Hopefully that my answers were adequate. This really wraps up our current segment this week's. Until next time, definitely stay informed. Follow us on Twitter. Stay to get all the newest, latest AMA information. Until the next AMA, definitely stay curious and keep learning. All right. Peace. Thank you very much.